Ever since reality shows took television by storm, it has often seemed like more and more of them get produced each year. Despite that fact, it is very clear that there have been very few reality shows that have been on the same level as Married at First Sight in terms of craziness. Of course, arranged marriages have been a major part of human history, but the idea of having complete strangers pick out your spouse is wild, even if they are so-called experts. Unfortunately, the fact of the matter is that the vast majority of Married at First Sight couples have broken up. With that in mind, it is even harder to believe that anyone signs up to be a part of this show anymore, especially because Married at First Sight stars don't get paid a fortune. However, the really wild thing is that one of the people who starred in the first season of Married at First Sight actually went on to have an even crazier life after leaving the show behind. So let's take a look at the craziest post-show relationship Married at First Sight has ever seen. Up first, Jason Karen and Courtney Hendricks' marriage didn't last. During the first season of Married at First Sight, Courtney Hendricks and Jason Karen got married after meeting each other for the first time at the altar. Of course, it should go without saying that the process of getting to know each other wasn't always easy for the duo. Despite that, Hendricks and Karen truly seemed like they grew to care very deeply about each other, and they decided to stay together at the end of the season. After the first season of Married at First Sight aired, many viewers were very invested in Jason and Courtney's relationship. Ultimately, in 2019, it was announced that their marriage of 5 years was ending in divorce. That same year, he gave a statement to People about the divorce. "It is with a heart full of sadness that me and Courtney have decided to separate. We fell deeply in love and very much had a fairy tale story being married as complete strangers in the docuseries Married at First Sight. We both had such an incredible, magical journey together these past few years, making this that much harder to write and even harder to live." Up next, how Jason Karen's life got even crazier after Married at First Sight. After the first season of Married at First Sight aired and became a hit, the decision was made to extend the franchise by airing a spin-off titled Married at First Sight the first year. As a result of that spin-off, viewers found out what one of the biggest issues in Jason and Courtney's marriage was: his busy schedule. After all, not being able to spend much time with your new spouse would cause tensions in any marriage. At the same time that Jason and Karen was pursuing a career as a firefighter, he also was indulging in his passion for his other job, which was performing as a professional wrestler. While it was unfortunate that Karen and Hendricks' marriage did not work out, their 2019 divorce freed up his schedule. As a result, it makes sense that Karen performed in 19 wrestling matches that year. On top of that, Karen became the LDN World Champion in 2019. Of course, a lot of people consider being a pro wrestler to be crazy enough. However, when it comes to Jason Karen's professional wrestling career, fate had something crazy in store. After all, the year after Karen's marriage to Courtney Hendricks ended, the COVID-19 pandemic took the world by storm and put most professional wrestling shows on hiatus. The same year that a pandemic put Jason Karen's wrestling career on hold, his life took another major twist that caught many observers by surprise. After all, the former Married at First Sight star walked down the aisle a second time, only a year after his divorce. The following year, in 2021, it was announced that Karen's new wife was carrying his baby. If that wasn't crazy enough, Karen married a woman named Roxanne Pallett. While the name Roxanne Pallett may not be familiar to most people in North America, she is much more than famous in her husband and her homeland. After all, Pallett starred in the British soap opera Emmerdale for years. On top of that, Pallett starred in a season of the UK Celebrity Big Brother, and she falsely accused a male housemate of purposely striking her multiple times while intending to hurt her. To say that viewers were outraged is a massive understatement, and Pallett once labeled herself the most hated girl in Britain. After leaving the Big Brother house, Pallett took part in many interviews in which she apologized profusely for the incident. Well guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to TV Explosion, and ring that notification bell so that you never miss a video. Thanks for watching!